1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Good morning, guys. I'm James Hake of the Hake Report, and it is Monday, July 15th, 2019. My birthday's in 2 days. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about why we need, I said why we need White History Month. And I'm going to hopefully finally get to those clips about Jeffrey Epstein's, one of his accusers, one of his so-called victims, who was also, according to her, an accomplice, which she wants to kind of gloss over, even though she's ashamed about it. She doesn't want to get punished, and it's a mess. And I do want to also get to your calls. 888-775-3773. I will get to you guys, you callers, shortly. But first, I want to mention that I'm here live in the 4th hour of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show on his video streams, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is 11 Central, 12 Eastern, noon, and 10 Mountain Time, unless you're in Arizona, which is you guys don't observe daylight savings time, so you guys are 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time for the time being. But thank you, Jesse. And I was live on my channels yesterday, Sunday 9 a.m. Pacific time before church, which is cool. Check that out. Audio podcasts go up after the show, by the way. TheHakeReport.com. I want to read a Streamlabs super chat that I have in the folder, Joel. It's a Streamlabs super chat from Sunday, I believe. Maybe it was even Friday. From Giovanni A, who says, Hake, keep doing what is white. Thank you. I appreciate it, Giovanni A. By the way, check out Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. I do have a thumbnail from yesterday's church service. I got the podcast up on time finally. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. It was about a frustrated actor gives up on his calling. Check it out from July 14th, 2019. And then I want to talk about Trump's beautiful tweets real fast before I get to the callers. President Trump yesterday on Sunday morning talked about why don't these Democrat congresswomen, I'm nodding over there because I happen to see them on Fox News, but don't go there. This is better. Trump tweeted yesterday about the Democrat congresswomen. I like to call them female congressmen. Why don't they just go back to their own countries and fix those places, which are in much more desperate need than America, rather than come in here and try to tell us what to do? Well, isn't that a nice sentiment? President Trump. I love our president. He's so real, and he actually lives out the way he talks. A lot of us may talk and then don't live it. Some people do live it, and that's nice to see. So Trump was called racist yesterday by the liberal media for being sensible and addressing the female Democrat congressman, telling them to go fix the countries where they're from. And so I reported this in Jesse's first hour, Drudge Report. It's the president doubles down, AFP via Yahoo News. Trump tweeted, and I have pictures of his tweets, the more recent ones. Trump doubles down tweets. When will the radical left congresswomen apologize to our country, the people of Israel, and even the office of the president for the foul language they have used and the terrible things they have said? So many people are angry at them and their horrible and disgusting actions. And then Trump also tweeted, if Democrats want to unite around the foul language and racist hatred spewed from the mouths and actions of these very unpopular and unrepresentative congresswomen, it will be interesting to see how it plays out. I can tell you that they have made Israel feel abandoned by the U.S. Isn't that nice? That if they want to stick with their racist hatred and foul language, and remember one of them said, we're going to impeach the MFer. She said that, I think, to her own son. That was Rashida Tlaib, the Detroit woman. CNN claims, I have a picture of this CNN headline, frightened GOP turns a blind eye. Analysis, Trump won't back down from his racist attacks because he knows he will pay no price in the Republican Party that fears his base. So CNN is calling Trump's base racist for being sane. Because Trump only tweeted sanity, common sense stuff. That's why we need White History Month, because whites are being called racist for being normal people defending their own country. And Ilhan Omar hates whites, Christians, America, as well as Israel and Jews. She's a Muslim from Somalia, refugee. Came here and now she's a congresswoman. And I have some stuff from her. But I want to get to the callers because I have a lot of you guys waiting on hold. So, Conrado, first-time caller out of California. Conrado, am I pronouncing your name right?
Yeah, it's Conrado, if you can't roll the R, but yeah, Conrado.
Conrado or Conrado.
Yeah.
Appreciate you calling.
Well, I called Jesse's show, but I get your take on it as well.
Okay.
2 questions. What did you think about the summit that President Trump just had for the social media guys?
I didn't really pay attention to it, to be honest. I don't really have high hopes about the social media situation getting better. I think that we have to rely on us just changing the people. You know how the radical homosexuals in them brainwashed the people into becoming pro-gay and all that stuff. Well, we have to unbrainwash the people by making them pro-white, pro-America, pro-Christian again, by changing people's hearts and minds, as the cliche goes. Because
Trump, he had the social media summit, invited a bunch of social media people down from YouTube.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't invite a lot of people. Unfortunately, they didn't invite a lot of people who really should have been invited, from what I heard. But whatever.
Yeah. There was a lot of people that weren't there. There was quite a few black conservatives. There was even that one that young black lady that Jesse just recently interviewed.
Yeah, Joy
on the Fallen State.
Yeah.
Well, my second question was, I don't know if Jesse had seen it or not, or if he's heard, but I was wondering, trying to get his take, or even get your take on Ben Shapiro's comments on it, saying that, most of the people that were there, didn't deserve to be there or shouldn't have been there.
I don't know anything about that either.
The White House is the people's house. Anybody could be there.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what he said or why he said it or anything, so I can't really comment. Ben Shapiro's a nice guy. I've always had some respect for him, but he's a little off when it comes to Trump. He doesn't really see that Trump is real and the best thing for the country. So in that sense, I disagree with Shapiro. But
Ben's a beta.
Huh? Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Whatever.
I said maybe because deep down inside Ben's a beta.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, sometimes I'm guilty too.
Yeah. We need to bring him into the fold, the pro-Trump fold.
Yeah.
All right, man.
He has a lot of views that I align with too, and I agree. But there's some things I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Yeah. A lot of these guys just have that blind spot. But who knows?
Yeah, but hey, but that's the great thing about our country, right? We can all have different views on everything.
I guess. Yeah, it is, but it's not really. I don't know. They're trying to take away the freedom in this country, meaning
yes, exactly.
the liberals and rhinos.
That's all I wanted to get to.
All right, cool. Appreciate it, Conrado.
Have a good one, Hake.
All right, bye.
And have a White History Month.
Thank you. Happy White History Month to you as well. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. Alexis from Houston, Texas. How are you doing, man? Or woman?
I'm great. How are you, man?
Cool. Right on. Happy White History Month to you.
Happy White History, man.
Thank you.
How's your White History Month going?
It's really nice so far. This is the second annual White History Month that I've celebrated. Thank you, Jesse, for starting it. And
I know, right? Such a nice thing of him to think of and to create.
Yeah, it's all about love and bringing back courage, because whites used to be courageous, and there are a few whites left who are courageous, like President Trump. I keep on nodding over to him because he's on TV right now, but watch me. He's not talking, so don't look. Anyways, yeah, man,
it's just really
it's so
sad.
nice. It's so nice that we can look back and remember the greatness of white people, because there's a lot of anti-white propaganda out there.
Absolutely.
And they call it
Yeah,
white history. And then when you ask them what the white history is, they spout off a whole bunch of communist, anti-white, anti-American propaganda. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very sad, man. I'm actually Mexican.
All right.
So I was born in Mexico and I grew up there until I was 15 years old. Then I decided to come here to America.
Yeah.
But my uncle, he's a citizen of this country, and so he was born here. So we used to come and visit him very often. And ever since I was a child, it was the greatest thing for me to come to the U.S. to visit my uncle. I always thought it was such an amazing place. Like I grew up in a very close to the border city, the city of Monterrey, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So we would just drive here, and I would just love the scenery. I love how white people kept the country green.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to Mexico, you go to the cities, they're all gray. Everything is asphalt. They don't care to preserve nature. They don't care to preserve the country clean, the cities clean. And I used to love coming to Houston, Texas, and seeing how the cities are clean, how they keep the houses green, they keep everything green. And I thought to myself, I want to live here. Eventually I want to live here.
Yeah.
So eventually my uncle invited me to move in with him. And I went and took the chance, and I fixed my papers. Right now, I'm a legal immigrant now, and I actually married a citizen woman.
Oh, what?
And so I'm working on my citizenship at this moment.
You said you married a what?
But it's very sad how the media and the liberals are making white people the boogeyman,
Right.
And I appreciate that the White History Month thing, because I appreciate white people. I appreciate they created. America is the greatest project in the history of mankind, man. Like when the settlers came here and created this country, is the greatest thing of all time. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I definitely do. At least as far as I know, man. You said who did you say you married?
Yes, I am married.
You married a citizen woman? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I didn't catch it.
She's
It kind of cut out.
Hispanic, but she,
Oh, she's American
she's
citizen.
American. Yes.
Nice. Congratulations. So
Thank you.
make some American babies or anchor babies.
Yeah.
Make some decent anchor babies for once.
I have two.
All right.
And one more thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I've been telling Happy White History Month to all my white friends or acquaintances that I know.
Yeah.
The reactions are hilarious, man.
I bet.
And yeah, and one in particular is a woman that I work with, and she is a Democrat. And she used to really, we used to have sort of like a bitter work relationship between me and her. But you know what? Ever since I started listening to Jesse, I forgave her, and our relationship became so much better.
Wow.
Because once I forgave her, not even once God gets in between two people, it doesn't matter, if one person still has hate.
Right.
God overcomes that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So even if she didn't forgive me, once I forgave her, God got in between us, and our relationship has been amazing.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. But the other day, I told her a Happy White History Month, and she freaked out. She just, brother, I swear she almost started crying.
Well,
She went and asked somebody else, is it really White History Month? And somebody else told her, no, it's not White History Month. And she said, oh my God, it's because July is my birthday. And
wow.
she almost cried. And somebody else told her, no, don't worry, it's not White History Month. And I told him, oh, yes, it is.
You know, man, you talked about how the whites keep the stuff clean and green and everything. And I've noticed that even the white liberals are like that. You know, the ones that are more well-to-do anyways. Yeah. And it's a sad statement, though, because both the white liberals and most, I would say, of the white conservatives, although they've maintained that physical cleanliness inside, we've like taken a dive so that people are weak and afraid and almost crying over White History Month. And then you have like whites that they don't see that Trump is right in what he's saying. They believe in the false idea of the racism thing. And it's just a shame. But that's cool, man. I appreciate you celebrating White History Month in honor of America. That's nice.
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate that your ancestors created this country, and I love it, man. And I'll never stop loving it. And people are mad. I said people are mad because Trump is telling truths again.
Right?
How dare he?
Yep, exactly. They're called racist just for telling the truth, just for being real and normal and right and fair.
It's so beautiful, man. And that's another thing. It's never happened before, man. A person in politics telling the truth.
So refreshing,
so
right?
Freaking out.
So refreshing that you finally have a politician who doesn't act like a fake politician, like a typical fake politician. So nice.
Well, he's not a politician.
Yeah.
You know? He's just a citizen. Became president. He's telling truths, and just people can't handle it.
Yep. I appreciate it, Alexis. Take care, man.
Thank you, James. You have a great day. God bless you.
You as well. Bye.
Make some white babies, man.
I know. I got to, man. I'm falling down.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Micah out of Indiana. Micah, how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes. No man is good. Or child.
All right. So I wanted to talk about. I found it interesting when that last guy called in and he was talking about how he celebrates the White History Month. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And it really exposed this sort of hypocrisy as well as the white like liberals and stuff, where they go, every single other culture on this planet, it seems like, even the crappy ones, the ones that you would think everybody would go, oh well, we're obviously doing better than them, but they'll go, no, their culture is amazing and beautiful, and we should emulate that.
Yep.
Instead of appreciating our own.
You know, it's like whites are the least into their race, you know, per capita, I would say. Most whites are not into race at all, whereas all these other cultures are all into their culture. You know, whites are into being American.
We get into theirs.
But, and whites are like the most fair with all the other races, but they're called racist. Anytime you hear the word racist, you think of white so-called racists.
Yeah. Someone said, they were talking to, do you know who Gavin McInnes is?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone was on his show, and they were talking about racism and white supremacy are the exact same thing, because only white people can be racist.
Right.
They're the only ones with power.
Which is a joke.
It's like, no, it's like, first of all, neither of them even exist, but why are they're now trying to say, no, it's not just white supremacy. White supremacy and racism are the same thing, because, you know, we have to find any way possible to vilify the white identity.
Yep. So true, man.
That was why Eric Swalwell just dropped out of the race.
The Democrat?
Yeah, did you hear about that?
I heard that he dropped out. Yeah. He was.
He said that
I don't think that he realizes that he's seen universally as a joke. It's a shame.
Yeah, and his reason for dropping out was, oh, well, I wanted to give other people a chance.
That's a nice thing to say. I would say that too.
Because you want to give other people a chance.
He's the bottom of the barrel, bottom of the polls, and he said, I want to give other people a chance. That's a smart thing to say.
Meanwhile,
Eric Swalwell is the guy who goes on Fox News because he's a Democrat, but he's white, and he's like millennial, I think. You think he's like my age, probably. What a mess.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. No party for white men is the Democrats and all the rhinos too.
Yeah, they're hating on and they're trying to get Joe Biden out too. Like they got Kamala Harris attacking him.
Yeah.
They just won't stand for white men.
We'll see what happens, but no matter what, I'm looking forward to seeing President Trump go up against the Democrat because Trump is a fighter, and that's what I like, and he's a winner. So
sadly,
looking forward to it.
Sadly, it's probably going to be Kamala Harris.
I think you're right. I just seems like it's going to be from the start. It just seemed like it was going to be her because, Obama said that she was the prettiest attorney general way back, and that's when I became aware of her. A California attorney general. Now she's a senator, and so-called black woman, part Indian from India, and part Jamaican, and yet she wants to act like, oh, she was hurt by the forced busing, or not hurt by the forced busing, or something. Her complaint to Joe Biden was so confusing. Anyway, man.
She's like saying he supported busing or whatever.
Yeah, she's confused. She just wanted to trick the blacks into supporting her instead of Joe Biden.
And she's beating Biden.
Yeah. Not surprising.
Yeah, it seemed like it was surprising, and then you think, oh, well, obviously, because people are going to vote for a black woman versus the evil white male.
The media is on her side.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like they were for Obama.
It's really sad, actually.
Yep. Anyway, happy White History Month to you.
Yeah, happy White History Month to you, too.
Thank you, man. All right, take care.
All right, you too.
Bye. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Ebony. Call back. Ebony, call back. I just hung up on the wrong person. Typical. Typical. Let me read this stuff. Ilhan Omar, the woman who... She said that whites, the woman who was a refugee, Muslim woman, she said that whites are mistreating kids who might not look like theirs. And that's trying to imply that whites are so-called racist. Ryan Saavedra, I have a tweet from Ryan Saavedra of the Daily Wire. He reported Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat from Minnesota, says that Americans treat detained illegal aliens worse than dogs, which is a lie, and that it's because they're racist, another lie. Quote, we live in a society and govern in a body that might value the life of a dog more than they value the life of a child who might not look like theirs. And, of course, by the way, I got a tip about this from C.J. Connor. Thank you, C.J. Connor. She's projecting because she's the one who favors so-called POCs over the white people. She's the one who's for abortion, for killing babies that aren't hers, and for MS-13, the illegal alien gang members, coming in and raping and killing kids. Barack Obama was just like her too, by the way. He underhandedly tried to call people racist, whites racist all the time by referencing how people look, when they're the ones who are being shallow. Whites, conservatives are about what's right versus wrong, but the liberals are about everyone else against whites. So, just a little side note. Let me get to Craig, first-time caller out of New Orleans.
Hey.
New Orleans,
Hey,
Louisiana.
good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Did you get flooded at all?
Perfect. Good morning. So,
Craig, did you get flooded?
Can I just start by saying, first off, Jesse Lee and you were some great American patriots.
Appreciate it.
I actually heard about Jesse through Alex. I listened and I watch InfoWars.
Oh, okay, nice.
Day and Night Show, The War Room with Owen Schroyer. I think Jesse's been on all of them.
Yep. I know that he's been on the War Room with Owen Schroyer.
Great American.
Yeah.
Couple
of those shows. Yep.
Oh, yeah, and so I called you.
Oh, you're cutting out, man. Craig, you're cutting out. Craig, hold on, man. Fix Craig's phone. He's cutting out. Let me get back to Ebony, whom I accidentally hung up on. Ebony out of Austin, Texas. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I was like, he hung up on me.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you know why InfoWars wasn't invited for the social media summit?
Probably political correctness is my guess. I think that there's a lot of swamp inside the White House, inside the administration even, and that's my guess. Yeah.
And James, you sound kind of low. I don't know if I got my phone turned up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's really low.
Maybe you got to fix your phone because I think everything is fine on our end. Can you guys hear me out there? Anyways.
Huh?
No, I was just telling the audience. Can they hear me?
At least they could have invited Owen Sawyer and Millie and Caitlin Bennett to the White House.
Yeah, I agree. It would be nice, but that's why you can't really have any hope in the government. You have to do for yourself, fight for yourself.
You're right.
Yep.
And I wanted to talk to you about that guy, Jason, that Jesse was talking to.
Jason Nichols, yeah, the black guest.
Jason Nichols.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be like an Africanist.
I think he's like a professor and a podcast host, and he's all into the black stuff, black thing.
And it seems like he's successful. You know, he has his wife, his kids, not out of wedlock, I guess. And it's not like he's teaching other blacks to do what he did. He just teaching them hatred and racism.
Yeah,
That's
basically,
right.
he's just. It's a shame. That's what liberals do. The well-to-do, even the liberal well-to-do blacks, they all teach their children that. They basically brainwash their children. It's so evil to do that to your kids, but that's what they do. They're thinking that they're doing right. I think, idiots.
And then I think he said he don't know where the black hood is, but he know where the white hood is.
Yeah, exactly.
That don't make no sense.
And he said he loves all people. He doesn't love white people. And then he said he loves black people though. But that's what these people are. You know. You mentioned about teaching the kids about racism and victimhood. I noticed that Jesse wrote an article about this some years back about this woman, Michelle Alexander, who wrote about the new Jim Crow. She's being propped up by the liberals in Hollywood and all that crap. And Ta-Nehisi Coates, who's also being propped up by Hollywood and the liberals and the liberal whites. All these people, they all teach their children. Kamal Ball, who got a show on CNN, I think, some comedian. They all teach their kids that whites are racist and just to be scared of police and stuff like that, to hate the police.
Yeah, it starts in the home first.
It's a mess. That's probably what happened to them too. You know, I believe I know what happened to them because one of those writers, his father was a Black Panther, and he still runs like a black stuff bookstore. So these people are just generation after generation trained to believe in lies. And it's their mission in life. And that's why they won't come on the Jesse Lee Peterson show anymore. One of them did, but two of them were too scared and wouldn't. And the one that did, wouldn't come back. So it's a mess.
I was just wanting to say that I lived in the hood, and the hood is like the project, you know, and the hood that I live in, it was nothing but black people, and it was the projects in Bastrop, Texas.
Yeah.
And I lived in the hood in Austin, Texas. It was called Connolly Park. It was on Loyola and 183 in Austin, Texas. Nothing but blacks and Mexicans, the hood.
Right.
And
there was no love between most people. That's why it's a hood. You know, that's the thing about what the Mexican caller, Alexis, pointed out, is that the whites, he loved coming to America because the whites kept things clean, green, and friendly people and all that stuff. Whereas, the people of lesser culture don't keep things clean. And then inwardly or outwardly, the whites at least know how to hide their stuff a little bit better. They have more shame, but they're becoming worse too, unfortunately.
And I live in the whitest side of town in Austin, right?
Yeah.
Over here, by Mount Bunnell in Austin. And everybody is just so friendly. The men are so friendly. They're so nice. They open doors for you. They say, how are you doing? They speak to you. And a group of white men try to holler at me, try to talk to me or whatever. Or try to follow me into the store to see how, because they only saw the back of me, and they just try to follow me into the store and see how I look or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk to you because I was talking to another guy on Facebook about Jesse or whatever, and he asked me, did I forgive my parents? And I was like, yeah, I forgave my mom, but she still get on my nerves.
Yeah. So maybe you didn't really forgive her. You just you did what you thought. So maybe you didn't really forgive her if she still gets on your nerves. Maybe you just did what you thought you were supposed to do, but you still haven't really forgiven her. Is that what you're saying?
I forgave her.
Okay.
Like I mean, I was so afraid to forgive her. My heart was pounding,
Yeah.
and I just let it come out. And I said, I'm sorry for resenting you. I know that I came just like you. I know I've become just like you, and I just want to, say I'm sorry for resenting you. And then she was like, oh. You didn't come like me. You ain't nothing like me. That's what she said.
Right.
And then, so we still talk and keep in touch or whatever. But she's like 50 years old, and she do stuff like she's 21. And she been saying it like, when y'all 18, I'm leaving your she tells me I'm leaving, your stepdad, and my sister and my brother, they got the same mom and dad. And they was like, when y'all turn 18, I am leaving. And now she's just out there. My mom's like a rolling stone. Wherever she take her shoes off at, that's her home.
Man, that's sad. It's so common nowadays, though, that immaturity. You'll notice people are really growing up and maturing later and later in life. And that's like the worst thing, especially for the women, because their body clocks tick. And like... that's what feminism did to the women, where they delay having kids, and then they're miserable because they can't have kids by the time they're thinking about it. Such a mess.
Yeah. And then what else gets on my nerves is like my sister and my sister-in-law, right? Because my sister, she's a lesbian, right? And she's always on like Instagram and Facebook with our wives talking about, love is love and rainbow and pride and all that stuff. So I have kids. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and she looks up to my sister.
Yeah.
And now she's saying what she's saying. But and then my sister-in-law, she always like black excellence. Oh, my melanin is popping, and black this and black is beautiful and stuff like that. And that kind of gets on my nerves because when she talks to her kids, she always go sit your black A down, and she calls them the N-word. So if you're using that negativity, if you're using black and the N-word negative towards your kids,
right?
That's what they're gonna grow up as. That's what they're gonna grow up as thinking. And then you be on Facebook fronting saying that black is beautiful and black excellence and all that. It just don't make no sense to me.
It's all lip service. People don't love their own families or at all, but then they pretend to love their race. And that type of stuff is spreading. That's why Jesse pushes this forgive your mother stuff and return to your father, because you'll notice that all races are falling into this trap of so-called getting into their race, but meanwhile they don't even have any love for their own family. It's like a substitution. Right. It's like an imitation family, this race thing. People don't really love their own race. They hate their own race. And
Yeah.
that's what Jesse's trying to bring back is love for everybody, starting with the people closest to you, which usually are the ones that you hate first.
I'm not trying to hate them,
Yeah,
like, but it's I guess it's like unconsciously, I guess, or whatever,
that you're
hate or
judging them.
whatever.
They're judging.
But
You're
it
judging
just
them.
gets on my nerves. So I try to like correct it, and then they just laugh at me, or, oh, you wish you was white. Won't you just put a Confederate flag in your,
Nice.
they say that I wish I was white or whatever, and that's totally not true. I think I'm a beautiful young lady. I love my skin, so I don't know what you talked about, lady.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, about President Trump's tweet. President Trump got to say something to them people because they started attacking him first.
Yep,
So
and I like how
has
he
to
handled it. It was perfect.
Right.
It made me. It reminded me of why I voted for him. Really, why I love having him as president. But you make a good point about this stuff where we're looking around, looking at the insanity of family members and other people, insane people in the world, that we really have to check ourselves. Otherwise, they're never going to be convinced by what's right because they don't see us living it out. Even though we know what's right and wrong, if we don't live it, they're never going to listen. They're just going to reject it. They're going to get further away from it.
Yeah. But, James, what if, like, you have to just let go and let God deal with your problems? Because if you try to force it or control it, it just get worse. Like my daughter, right? Like I just listen to her because I want her to talk to me, and I kind of not trying to be so hard on her or whatever. Just let her just live and think like she wants, and not trying to force anything on her.
Yeah. Ebony? Have you contacted bond office for counseling, private counseling?
Yeah.
For yourself?
But I haven't started it yet.
Oh, okay. I definitely recommend it because Jesse can give you really good advice. And if you can't get through on air, maybe you can, maybe you can't. But if you want to be able to say more, you can do that. I definitely recommend it because you don't want to alienate your daughter even further. I know what you mean. But I got to go, Ebony.
I like Jesse book. The Scam is great.
Oh, the book Scam?
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. People really like that book. Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black Americans. It's a good book. Yeah, I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ebony. Take care.
You're welcome. You too. Bye.
All right. Bye. Hang up on the right person for once. Let me get back to Craig. Craig out of New Orleans. Your phone was messed up, but hopefully you're back now.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
So I got to be quick.
Okay. Appreciate you holding.
But I wanted to call originally about the outrage about the president's tweets.
Yeah.
First off, it's completely bonkers. They go bonkers over anything.
Yeah.
But personally, I think you should have let them eat their own, per se. I was enjoying watching the meltdown.
Yeah.
But, the moment he chimes in, they're going to attack him.
Uh-huh.
But, anyway, it's okay. I thank God for him every day. But but what I would like to see now going forward, just as an American who likes to speak his mind freely, we have to end the censorship. I've been writing him every day. I call the White House. I call the congressman. I call everyone. Say, time to end the censorship. If not, we're not going to have a country. We have to be able to speak freely, speak openly. That's how I heard about Jesse.
Yeah.
I think it was on the Owen Schroyer, the War Room.
Yeah.
But Alex Jones has had him, David Knight. So great American. Jesse Lee is a great American. You're a great American. Thank you for taking my call first time. Thank you so much. I just started listening to Jesse this month, but I love him. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Craig. Thank you, man. Take care. I disagree with him on whether Trump should have tweeted that, because Trump tweeted, show those original first few tweets. Trump said that they should go back to their countries and fix them. He said, no, go to the original, the Trump tweets one, blah, blah, blah. He said that they should just, he said, so interesting to see progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe, the worst, most corrupt and inept anywhere in the world if they even have a functioning government, now loudly and viciously telling people of the United States, the greatest and most powerful nation on earth, how our government's supposed to be run. And why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came? Then come back and show us how it's done. These places need your help badly. You can't leave fast enough. I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi would be very happy to quickly work out free travel arrangements. Isn't that so nice? I think that was a perfect thing for Trump to be tweeting. I don't care that they're attacking him. Let them say what they want. They're going to say it anyways. Get it all out in the open and let the people decide and wake up. It's another item in, it's another example of how Trump can handle these situations perfectly, which brings up the opportunity for more people to wake up to the sanity and and come out of their sleep of insanity. So I really like that Trump has tweeted that. They're still going to fight and backbite, and the Democrats are going to hurt themselves trying to hurt the president. So I don't mind it. But I appreciate that, Craig. That's nice. And I really don't mind you guys fighting against the censorship. That's good, because everybody should have the spirit of free speech. Unfortunately, we have to ban people just because they're trying to ban us. So, Mike, out of Ohio, first-time caller.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Hey.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to be talking to you.
Oh, no worries.
I thought I was going to be talking to Jesse Lee, the original OB.
Jesse is on from 9 a.m. till noon Eastern time in your time zone, and then I'm on from noon to 1, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, well, I called him OB instead of OG. You know what OB is, don't you? That's Old Buzzard.
Okay. Is that a good thing?
No, I love him. I love the guy.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, hey, the woman that called before Craig, I believe his name was, she said everything I wanted to say.
Yeah.
You really have to love yourself like God tells us to do. My question that I was going to ask is, what do I do about the blacks? I mean, it just seems like they're so rampant, and it's me, I, me first, and screw everybody else.
What city are you in, Mike? What city are you in?
I'm sorry?
What city are you in?
Oh, Akron, Ohio.
Akron. If you have black friends that are like that, just be honest with them. If they're the type that can handle a little friendly, constructive criticism. But other than that, just leave them alone.
It's not the friends that I'm just concerned about. I'm just concerned about getting shot, basically.
Yeah, then
and I don't want any stray bullets
don't go out at
coming
night.
my way.
What's that?
Huh?
I said don't go out at night.
Yeah, I don't go out at night.
Good.
But and I just come to the conclusion that you have to pray. You really have to pray for everyone, for yourself, for God to open up your heart to understand what He wants you to do. And I think that's what our country is kind of coming around. It's stuck in us 200 years, but it's kind of coming around. God is working in Trump. I mean, look at everything that the Democrats throw at him. And, it just slings back right to him.
Yeah.
And, but I'm going to cut it short. I really appreciate Jesse Lee.
Yeah.
And I don't know how old he is. How old is that guy?
You can look it up. I don't want to repeat his age.
Okay. You can't say it on the air.
Well, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, he's older than
You
dirt.
don't want to get him upset. I understand.
I can't upset him, but then I'll start getting made fun of. I tend to repeat his age too often. Now I'm traumatized. I'm afraid of repeating his age. He's older than me, though.
Is he there? If he's
Although
there,
he's in better shape than me.
You know, I said OB for old buzzard because I wanted to get a rise out of him.
Oh, right on.
So I hope he's listening.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I love you guys' show.
Thank you, man.
You know, I love Jesse, and you know, I know he's a prayer warrior. I'm helping him out by praying as much as I can.
Thank you.
And I really think, you know, meditating and prayer go hand in hand.
Cool.
I really do. So anyway, I'll let you go and continue on with your show. Hey, thanks for inviting me in.
Thank you,
Have
Mike.
a good day.
You know that Jesse has a nonprofit organization, Bond? Mike?
He has a what?
He has a nonprofit organization, Bond, here in Los Angeles. It's a actually worldwide reach, but he has a nonprofit that he's helping people through counseling, church services, men's conferences, women's forums, men's forums, entrepreneur academy. Yeah, it's really nice. Rebuildingtheman.com. Check it out. Rebuildingtheman.com.
I will definitely pray for that too, sir.
Cool. Thank you, man. All right, take care.
All right. Adioski.
All right. Bye. Adioski. I wonder if that's Russian. Anyways, that was dumb. Tyler out of Texas. How are you doing, man?
I am doing fine. How are you doing,
caller.
sir?
Doing fine, thank you.
Good. So I just want to talk to you about a couple of things.
Okay.
So now that Trump has tweeted, you know, his tweet, which I agree with,
yeah.
that, you know, everybody's talking about him being either racist or just a bunch of false claims. But I don't think people truly understand what his meaning was behind it. You know, I think he, you know, legitimately wants, you know, these other countries to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
And also, when you go down to the core issue, listen, and I am by no means, you know, meaning any malice out of this, but we're on the track where the white people in America are no longer going to be the majority of the people in America, and these ethnic groups are, you know, taking over. You know, and it's fine if they can come in and they can legally start their own life, but you know, when the white people aren't the majority, then is it America anymore?
No,
and
because
you know, that's my whole thing.
Their whole thing is anti-American. You know, all these people that are coming in, both the legal and illegal aliens who come in, and the anchor babies who are born here, they may pay lip service to America. You see it with Obama. You see it with Ilhan Omar. All these people, they really hate America. Obama's mama was a white woman, American, but she hated America. She hated white people, and she hated her ex-husband, and she hated Barack. And these people are they're anti-American. They're liberals. And liberal nowadays is more anti-American than I think ever. It's basically communism.
I agree. And
they're
like,
not
when you look at these progressive Democrats, let me ask you something. Are you a Christian man?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I am too. Okay. And when I look at some of these progressive Democrats, it makes me think. It makes my heart think that they were sent by the devil. That they are demons looking to take over our country and turn it into a socialist country that nobody wants. Look at Venezuela or Cuba. Where has that worked?
Yeah.
And they're trying to turn us into something that we don't want to be.
Even Europe. Look at Europe, and Europe is falling hard. You don't want to be like Europe either, but people idolize Europe as though it's something great, but it's not.
Exactly.
It's a mess.
It's young Americans thinking that they know about politics, and they really don't. They don't know how the world works. I want to see them pay taxes and then tell me they want socialism.
Yeah.
And it's
ridiculous, man.
This country is going down a wrong path, and the only person that can bring us out is, you know, President Trump.
Yeah, but we all have to become right ourselves too, because otherwise the change is not going to last. Remember, I don't know if you remember, but I remember people used to idolize and love Ronald Reagan is such a great president. But meanwhile, just a few years later, we descended into chaos, pro-gay stuff, pro illegal alien stuff, pro socialism. We've fallen hard since Reagan. So he didn't have a lasting positive impact in a meaningful way in terms of the moral character. So hopefully we can take hold of that and take advantage of this opportunity with Trump and become right ourselves and not rely on the president to change things for us. We need to change it ourselves, and he can help big time.
That's what I'm saying, brother.
Yeah.
And we can't do that if the left is just trying to take away our guns and take away our rights.
Yep.
And, you know, there's so many things that we possess that the left's just trying to take away.
Right.
And we can't solve anything if those people on the left side of the aisle keep trying to take away our rights and just what our country stands on.
That reminds me, man, it's White History Month, and I need to read the First and Second Amendments for you guys. Those are like the two things that Jesse is totally for. And the Bill of Rights, the founders thought that the Bill of Rights didn't need to be written. Some of them I heard from what I heard growing up in school, because they should have been so obvious they didn't need to be written down. But apparently they needed to be written down, and now people are trying to get rid of them, especially the First and Second Amendments. So, and then they pretend that they're standing up for the first, but they're not. Anyway, Tyler, take care, man. Good to hear from you.
All right. Hey, can I get an amazing out of you real quick?
Amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. I'm going to get to the clips about Epstein's so-called victim later, another day, maybe. Yeah, I will play for them for you, okay? But I want to get to some callers today. Sean, first-time caller out of Washington. Sean, how are you?
Oh, good. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Fine, thank you.
Hey, I wanted to ask, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, much better. Thank you.
Have you ever read 1984 by George Orwell? And what do you think about, if you have, do you think today's society is similar to what happened in that book? Like where things are, like say for instance, like anti-racism is racism, anti-sexism is sexism.
Yeah.
You know, pride is like shame. You know what I'm talking about? Like the patriarchy is gynocentric.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Those are I hadn't heard it put that way in a while. Yeah, I have read 1984 by George Orwell. I think it was back in high school. I don't remember the specifics much, but I do remember that it was basically pushing a certain type of thinking on people. And as I recall, it might have had Big Brother in it, where, you know, the government and fellow people, kind of like what happens in North Korea, I hear, will like rat you out if you think independently or if you differ from the accepted, you know, political correctness, which is what happens today. You know, you have like these brainwashed millennials and Zoomers and stuff. Not the good ones, not the conservative ones, but the liberals. The ones that will fight a teacher on so-called homosexual pride and stuff like that. They will campaign against you and take you out if you differ from them on basically anything politically. You're not for the illegal aliens. You're not for the transgenders, you know, kissing up to the worst in them. You're not for kissing up to the worst in the homosexual stuff. You're not for whatever, illegal aliens, the worst in women, all that stuff. You want to celebrate White History Month. One caller the other week said that he would not, he said that his students would not take kindly to the notion of White History Month because they're brainwashed in anti-whiteness. And like you said, everything that they're talking about is backwards. The anti-racism is really anti-white, and sexism. They complain about sexism.
Like, have you noticed there's a shaming of fathers? Like they talk about we live in a patriarchy,
right?
But really, it's all about shaming fathers.
In reality, it's like women run. Even the men are women run. So it's just an illusion. It's an illusion that whites are in charge. It's an illusion that anybody's really leading or powerful. But
so what can we do to prevent our children from becoming indoctrinated by this type of mentality?
I don't know, man. First things first, we got to make children. Do you have kids?
Yeah, I have 4 kids, and
okay. Don't let them.
They're getting brainwashed by this mentality in the public school systems.
So your kids are going to public school to this day?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? That's one thing that you can do is take them out of the public schools. But you have to live right too. You have to be an example. Otherwise, your kids are just going to turn on you. Maybe they already have. Who knows? I don't know how old they are. Some of them might have. But public schools, even private schools nowadays, are so corrupt and liberal, anti-Christian, anti-white, anti-men. You probably, I don't know. Call Jesse for counseling if you need it. 323-782-1980. But congratulations on 4 kids. But, man, Jesse says that parents who send their kids to public school hate their children. And he makes a good point about it. Ronald Reagan was supposed to close down the education department, I heard. He failed. He didn't do it. Shameful.
So what does he recommend doing with the kids, like homeschooling or private schools?
Homeschool, man. Most of the private schools are corrupt too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Unless you can find a good one, but the number one thing, man, you have to be right, because otherwise they're just going to turn on you, and they're going to be liberal, brainwashed minions against their own parents. Because
what do you mean you have to be right?
You have to be a right person. You have to live right. You have to be a perfect example for them. You can't be saying the right things but not living right. Because you're saying the right things. At 1984, they're anti-white, they're anti-men, they're anti-Christian, all that stuff. They're they're pro everything evil. But the most conservatives are right on politics, but they don't live right themselves, and that's why their children end up liberals or, turning on them and unhappy. And that's why conservatives lose, because conservatives are really liberals who just disagree with themselves. Jesse says that anybody with anger is a liberal. Anybody with anger in their hearts is a liberal, meaning anybody who has the capacity to get angry still at times is a liberal. And I think that's a nice warning from Jesse, because you end up helping your own destruction and your children's destruction, even against your own will. You know what I mean? Most conservatives are conflicted because they still sin. Yeah. So anyways, I do recommend, Jesse's silent prayer might be nice. It might help you open your eyes to ways that you can just directly know how to be as a good example for your kids, so that they see a different way. Silentprayer.video. Have you heard of it?
No, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And what's the phone number for the counseling?
323-782-1980. 323-782-1980. You can find it by going to rebuildingtheman.com. That's the Bond website, rebuildingtheman.com.
Okay.
Check it out, man. I appreciate it, Sean. Very nice call.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah, take care. Maze and everybody else, I'm sorry I cannot get to you. I went too long with the other callers. I'm sorry. But I will be back tomorrow on the 4th hour of Jesse's show and every day. So I'll see you guys. And make sure that you look out for old episodes of the 90s episodes with Jesse and the Church with Jesse Lee Peterson from 2008. We're going to be putting those out hopefully every week. Take care, guys. Bye.